Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for choosing to be part of us. We really appreciate your continued support. Ladies and gentlemen, someone was asking me that why do we keep on highlighting the crisis in the country? That we keep on talking about the accidents on our roads, how people lose their lives, innocent lives, very carelessly on our roads. And the cabinet secretary in that ministry, Murkomen, does not seem to care so much. Why do we keep on highlighting the fake fertilizer and how the cabinet secretary, Mitika Linturi, keeps on telling us that there is no fake fertilizer, the percentage of nitrogen percentage that was there does not make it tantamount to fake fertilizer. Yet we even have people who have been apprehended, some sacrificial lambs. Why we keep on highlighting how he termed this as Azimio propaganda. He was asking why we keep on mentioning the failure of the government to give schools the capitation fee. And when I was asked this question, why we keep on highlighting, it reminded me of one of the very famous speeches of a man I follow so much, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. When he was giving his speech, I Have a Dream, he mentioned in that part of the dream that there are people who are asking the devotees of struggle for freedom, when will you be tired? And he told them, we will not tire until the Negroes understand that there is need to go for an election, until they are free, until they are treated equal with the whites in the USA. And when I remembered that speech, my answer was one: we shall keep on talking about the crisis in the country until the government gets it right. Some people are telling me, is there any iota of good news in this government that we can give? Yes, there is. And the good news is people are getting tired and the chicken are coming home to roost, because there are cabinet secretaries who have decided that they are not going to carry the sins that they did not authorize. One of the people who are at the center of this crisis is the cabinet minister or cabinet secretary for education, Ezekiel Machogu. Ezekiel Machogu has literally become a man under siege. Many Kenyans believe he is incapable of running that docket. It started with the mess during the exam, and when the exams were released, both KCPE and KCSE, it was found out that there was a lot of rot. Raila explained that some people messed up during the acquisition of the exam materials because we had changed our printer from UK to some Indian company because we wanted kickbacks. Today, many are asking why Ezekiel Machogu cannot intervene so that schools, public schools, get their capitation fee on time. And many are giving him an E for his performance since UDA took power. And in fact, many are calling for his sacking. You all know that for a period of time now, cabinet reshuffle has been trending for some time. And when you ask Kenyans, they will tell you that Murkomen should go, Machogu should go. They believe Nahumincha should go, and they are saying that Linturi should go. But today, the cabinet secretary, Machogu himself, decided that he has carried enough is enough, and is going to reveal why there is a lot of mess and rot and failure in that ministry. And he was saying that he has tried to write not just one letter, but very many letters to the Ministry of Finance, to release the capitation fee.
Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu is asking the National Assembly to intervene and have the school's capitation funds released in full and on time. Speaking when he appeared before the National Assembly's Education Committee, Machogu said despite writing numerous letters to the National Treasury seeking to have the school funds released on time, the Exchequer is always late, hence the current financial crisis facing the schools.
The Exchequer, where the ministry gets the money and where Teacher Service Commission gets the money, is the same. And sometimes when you give the same function, the same responsibility to two different individuals, it does not only amount to duplication, but conflict. When we talk of 22,240, and then you are not giving us that money, each and every time, you subject it to some cuts.
See, as part of the problem is in your ministry. I've sat here. When they come to justify budget, special needs, they just pass.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I've sat here.
I have even looked at this financial year, 2023-2024. There is a reduction of capitation to these schools. I want to ask what informed this reduction, considering these schools are actually, when you go there, you can cry.
The solution lies with the Committee of Education, the Committee of Budget. If you wanted to rectify this, particularly this supplementary two, you can.
Now, this capitation fee is supposed to be given to public schools. Per child, a child is supposed to get 22,244 shillings. In term 1, 50% of that money should be released, second term 30%, and third term 20%. As schools were closing for their first term, Machogu had only released 25% of the money. And then, what makes it even funny is that Belio Kipsang, the PS in the very ministry they serve together with Machogu, has announced that they are reducing the capitation fee from 22,244 to 17,000. And this is against the chagrin of Ezekiel Machogu. This is against his knowledge, because Kipsang is saying that this money is supposed to be reviewed downwards. But Machogu does not know why. He's writing letters so that this money should be released. But his counterpart, the PS, instead of fighting together so that they get this money, is saying, we want to reduce it, and Machogu does not understand. And he decided that he is taking this matter when he was called by the Committee of Education. Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at what is happening, I thought that William Ruto has cabinet meetings, which he himself chairs, and they're supposed to be giving reports, their progress, their weaknesses and the challenges that they get when they are running their affairs. And if you see Machogu coming out to expose what is happening, to expose that it is the finance ministry or that finance docket that has refused to release money, it means he is tired. He has tried the conventional way. He has tried writing letters. He has tried talking about it, and nothing seems to be happening. And Machogu believes that there is money, because during that interview with the Committee of Education, he did not mention that there is no money. He believes there is money. This is money that was budgeted, and it is money that is paid by the taxpayers. And so he so believes, because he's in the cabinet and he understands how the government is running, he believes that there is money, but someone does not want to release. So he has come out to say, Mimi sio mwenye kosa. No, if you look at all this mess, when Micheka Lituri was talking carelessly, William Ruto came after they had been exposed by John Alanamu. And William Ruto did not handle the careless part of Mituri, where he was saying this is an Azimio propaganda. William Ruto simply directed that those who got fake fertilizer should be compensated. He left out the other side, which means he supports it. When people were busy stoning Naumincha, that she should go, we realized that William Ruto himself came out and said, there is no money. We can only pay 70,000 shillings to the interns. This means that the author and the finisher of these problems is William Ruto himself. When you see doctors are not being paid, do not stone the messenger who is Nahumincha, who has sent them. William Samoei Ruto has sent them that when you go to negotiate the CBA, tell them you want to review it because there is no money. Because now it is coming out, that when you see capitation fees not reaching Machogu, schools on time, it is not Machogu. And sometimes, Machogu was very quiet, but it was burning inwardly. And this is Ruto. And Machogu has decided, I'm now going to use the unconventional way. In other words, he does not just want to come out and tell us that Ruto has refused to release money. Let me ask you, if William Ruto wanted this money to be released, how long would it take? Would it take even a day before this money is released to the kitty or to schools? And why is it that they want to review it? Because I believe that before you allocate some amount of money to a certain project, education, health, and all that, they must have sat down with the committee of the budget. I think this could be indeed in or somebody, to see that due to the sensitivity of this docket, we are allocating this much. So did they make a mistake? Are they saying that now 22,000 is too much? They want to reduce it to 17. And Machogu, who has been in that docket, feels that this is not going to happen. It is the worst thing that can ever happen to them. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we now understand that if there is any failure in a certain docket, it is William Ruto and the Ministry of Finance, because everything starts and stops with the finance. All these things need money to be run. But why is it that we have picked the most sensitive dockets, health and education? Because this touches on the future of our children. Why have we picked on it? When this is happening, we will never be tired of mentioning that the rot in government is just too much. The wastage in government is just too much. Corruption in government is just too much. So we have allowed corruption to perpetuate, and these are statistics from the Controller of Budget. These are statistics from Auditor General, where we see a lot of wastage and corruption and money getting into people's pocket. Yet when it comes to serving the nation, then we start reducing and we tell them that there is no money. In developed countries, they are taxed heavily. But the good thing is, this tax, this money is put to good use. They see value for their money. You get into hospitals, facilities are there. People are being taxed, every sector, left, right, and center. But there is no value for it. And William Ruto, personally, I don't know whether I'm thinking right. I believe that when you are called Dr. William Samoei Ruto, because do you know that when William Ruto stands before other African presidents or outside Kenya is in Europe, they mention Dr. William Samoei Ruto. For you to earn such a title, we would wish or we would assume that you understand the value of education, because you have earned the title doctor. Doctor does not come just by name. He should reciprocate that by showing that indeed he understands the value of education. He has continued to say that if there is a level playing ground for the rich and the poor, is education. But now when he starts messing up, does he believe that we will have doctors when he's gone? And so, ladies and gentlemen, we should understand that before we crucify people like Machogu, someone is trying to sabotage them. Someone does not understand the value of education. Someone simply believes that they are enriching themselves at the expense of taxpayers at the expense of students and pupils and parents. And the money is getting into people's pockets. And this is basically unacceptable. People need to rise up. Doctors are on the streets. Very soon, you'll see teachers on the streets. You'll see parents on the street. William Ruto is working hard to engineer a revolution in the country because he does not treat people with the respect that they deserve. Parents will not accept to pay taxes, yet someone is killing education in the country. He's busy looking for jobs outside the country. But these jobs, if we have to maintain our rank and standard at the international stature, then we must ensure that we have value. The value of education in Kenya goes higher and higher, that it can be recognized by other countries. Such kind of things will make other countries reject Kenya. Because if you see the rot in education, it escalates to an extent that you realize that we have fake degrees, fake doctors, fake engineers. And the same jobs that is looking for, very soon Kenyans will be rejected, because once you start denying them money, teachers will be demoralized. And we will just ensure, you realize that the value of our education will have gone so low that no one will ever work outside the country. Not unless you simply want domestic workers, those people who are going to take care of children and babies in other countries. He doesn't want professionals, because when you want professionals, it starts with the support that you give them at the CBC all the way to the highest rank. Today, if you ask a bright student whether they want to be medics, they will tell you no, because someone does not understand how he spends more than 5 years in college, then he comes back to start running battles just because there's a government that does not believe in professionalism. Machogu has spilled the beans. He's tired. He has decided. In fact, he's just coming short of saying Ruto is sabotaging the education in the country.